I grew up the fourth child out of eight in my family. And growing up, my father was an officer in the Air Force. We moved around quite a bit. And my parents always they were very frugal and careful financially, and we always had enough money to support our family, but there was never extra laying around. And one of the impacts of that with a large family, at least during the time I was growing up, is we never went to restaurants. We never went out to eat together as a family. Once a year on our birthdays, my dad would take us to a fast food restaurant, and that's the extent of what I did growing up. And so as I started to go on dates in my later teenage years, a common part of going on a date would often be to go to a restaurant, and often usually a sit down restaurant, not a fast food restaurant. And the idea of doing so scared me. I didn't know. I just felt like there were these secret rules about how you were supposed to behave in a formal restaurant setting, and I just knew I don't know them. I don't know the right uh, manners and things to do to fit in a restaurant. And so I was on one of my first dates with a big group. There was probably 12 of us, six couples, and I was nervous, thinking I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna do something really dumb here. And we sat down and we all ordered our food, and then as they do, eventually they try to bring all the meals at the same time, and uh, they brought everyone's meal except for mine. And they then said to me, "We're really sorry. The cook forgot to cook your meal, but it's happening now, and so it'll come," which just made things even worse for me. By the time my food came out, everyone else was done, and now I was just certain everybody's only watching me, and they're going to all notice all the things that I do wrong. And it was a pretty terrible experience because of my nervousness. I really did. I was cutting my meat, and uh, I slipped, and like part of my french fries went flying off of my plate, and I just felt all around like, okay, now I'm a total fool, right? All of us have had experiences where we feel out of place, or where we are certain for whatever reason we don't fit in. Unfortunately, some of us have that experience far too often, and it becomes our more dominant experience that we expect not to fit in, or to be accepted really by others in certain situations. I am very sad whenever I learn that an individual had that experience at one of our church meetings. Now, it's rarely ever because somebody was rude or explicitly problematic. It's just that many times people enter a church building and they have a lot of preconceived notions, just like I did, about what's supposed to happen, or that I don't know what's supposed to happen, with a lot of fear. And so as they come into our one of our meetings and they see us dressed up in our dresses and nice clothing, and they can get the wrong impression about who we are. Of course, we're all people with problems who are trying to get better, but they can far too quickly feel like, oh, I don't belong here. These people are too good, or these people are perfect, and I don't fit into this group. Or also, especially uh, and some individuals um, of color may feel as they enter a space that has a majority of white individuals, they may immediately feel like, oh, wait, maybe this isn't the place for me, having not been used to that, or having too many previous experiences of rejection. I want it to be our goal, every member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Stockton, to figure out how to help other individuals feel welcome in our meetings. And the feelings people can have can be so immediate upon entering the church that it really begins before they come to church, with helping to prepare them for what they're going to experience, and being real about some of the problems they may or may not experience, and then finding ways to help them feel comfortable. What I hope everyone can do is ponder and think, what is one thing that I can do to help make sure other people feel comfortable and welcome at our church meetings? And then to act upon that.